So for most of last year, I was posting a lot on online, writing blogs, posting on Twitter. Gave me a lot of visibility, and medical students, healthcare professionals were starting to see what I was doing, and persons were starting to ask themselves if how they could do what I was doing and how they could access the kind of opportunities that I accessed. Like last year, I went to Cambridge as a biotech leader of tomorrow. So the idea of being a biotech leader of tomorrow is they see you are super excited about biotechnology, medtech in your country, and they think you are likely to be the next biotech CEO, biotech investor, like one of one in your country in the next 5 to 10 years. So they select you from your country, and then you are being networked with biotech leaders of today. So for instance, like I sat next to a $1 billion biotech company in the US, like at a dinner. Um, I was speaking with the CMO of Amgen, vice president, acting official. Like some of these guys are now like very supportive advisors, just less than 3, 4, 5 months. And I'm going to share how I was able to even build some of these relationships with these very high profile persons. I was able to get to this point from the University of Ilorin. So I actually schooled at University of Ilorin. I completed my medical degree at University of Ilorin just about 2 months ago. So super early. I was medical spy. I found Meditech Africa. So Meditech Africa is an incubator. It gets medical students, develop our technology solutions, get them internships, organize workshops for them to kind of like stimulate them about how our technology solutions are being developed, the sustainable ones to develop. So everybody's not just designing a new telemedicine solution that is not going to scale. So included VC Africa. So it's mostly I was selected mostly because of my work at Meditech Africa. And Meditech Africa is an incubator, so I go into the VC to become a real VC. So I was one of three medical doctors in the VC, about like 90, and they are like really prestigious program. You have MBA students from Cambridge, from INSEAD, from Duke, from Oxford, like really, really prestigious program. So glad I got in. Um, so right now I'm very focused on venture capital, and I already kind of like talked a bit about myself already. I did a bit of also pharma regulatory consulting when I was in medical school. So I worked with it. I'm going to kind of like talk about like how I was able to get to these points during the course of my conversation, right? So I worked at INC Consulting that eventually like transitioned to Infinity Health. So we were initially working on market access strategy for startups. I worked on my cover juniors, worked on that's super like great, very inspiring work. They will now move to like helping to prepare people for regulatory services. So if you are working on a biotech product, a pharma product, and interested in preparing your product for NAFDAC registration, you talk to Infinity Health. Sorry, my slides. I don't know what's why it's some part of it on black. So I also got some business education in medical school. I did a mini MBA. I did global health. I talked about that already. So venture capital, digital health, ecosystem mapping, emerging markets, all of that, etc., etc. The business of today. Um, so I already talked about like why I started, like why I'm organizing this program. So like last year I got a lot of inbound students, like person just talk to me like, hey, I love what you're doing. I really love to do what you're doing, but I don't know where to start. Um, there's some persons who will say they want to apply to Chai because I did an internship at Chai. If you are one of those ones, like shout out to you that reached out to asking me to review their applications. I remember even like writing someone's CV from scratch, like entirely. And I don't know why I did that, but I eventually realized that I could not help everyone on that same bandwidth because like if I was going to help you, I was going to like help you like all out. And I could not help everyone. So I could not like talk to say 50 to 100 persons in a month and helping like 50 to 100 people like review their essays. So instead of doing that, I can just show you how I got to where I got to what I did and how you could do what I did and even better to get whatever opportunity you're looking for and achieve your dreams. So the registration form was actually designed to get some insights to what your challenges are. And some of the questions I got to, some of the like challenges the challenge that persons like mentioned was I don't know how to write or structure a strong CV. And that person said I don't have enough experience to compete. Okay, very interesting. That person says I apply, but I don't hear back. Another person says I don't know what direction to take. That person says I don't know how to position myself on unclean roads. So this was me like 2 years, 3 years ago. Like if that's like I still apply to a lot of things and I still don't hear back. So that's even one thing I want to like point out. Like everybody apply for stuff and I don't hear back. Right now I'm even like battling with a lot of rejections. So it does not really matter. Sometimes you might even like even know people inside and still get rejections. And at the same time, I'm still getting inbounds. Investors asking me to talk. And like top CEOs asking me to like chat. So does not mean like no matter how high you get, you are still going to like keep getting rejections. But the quality of rejections actually matters. You are getting rejections from a say what's company, maybe Google, or you're getting rejection from McKinsey, you're getting rejection from Novartis. Yeah, that's solid rejection. So but at the same time, you should know how to like write a very competitive CV. That takes me to the next slide. But I kind of like believe that I mean someone says they don't have enough experience to compete, but I actually don't agree that a student that has spent at least 2 years in medical school. Sorry, I keep mentioning medical school, and um, a student that has spent a couple years, at least 1 or 2 years in the university, or even like 100 level, you have experience enough to compete. The problem is your positioning. The problem is um, how you how you sell your experience. The problem is how you define your experience. There is a balance though. Some persons actually say lies, like they say what they did not do, and at the same time, some persons exaggerate, like parrot, like that's not what I'm asking you to do. What I'm asking you to do, like you need to like learn how to like extract what you have done and show people that have actually done it. Because if you don't tell me that you can do data analysis, I would not know. If you don't tell me that you can like manage stakeholders, like I would not know. And if you tell me that you can manage stakeholders, I want to see what I want to see how you really manage stakeholders. So a lot of you like are doing like very well already, like very hardworking. You're probably the student president in your medical student association or whatnot, or you're already organizing medical outreaches, but at the same time you're still applying to get in. So effort without position is going to be invisible. The market rewards like clarity are not your struggles. Nobody really cares if you are hustling 247. What really matters is the result. So I'm going to explain how your CV is being read. Most times, like I mentioned I'm part of Medic Africa. So part of Medic Africa will do like a flagship internship program and we get a lot of applications, 500 to 1,000 sometimes. And I'm really even anticipating like next internship program. I know we are going to get like a lot of applications now that we're even more popular. So many of these like your applications like get ready in like less than 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. You just look at it that like, does this person really fit what I'm looking for? Let's say for instance, I'm looking for a product manager. What experience do they have in product management? Where did they do product management? That's a relevant signal. So what kind of signal am I looking for someone that did product management? I'm looking for what kind of company did they did they do product management? If I'm seeing someone that is coming from maybe InterSwitch that did a product management internship at InterSwitch, for instance, of course I'll be excited to hire the person. I didn't want to know how how well they can work. Like at least I'll be interested in talking to the person. Like so if the person not like trying to interview, the person will get in. So signal is very, very important. So beyond gaining experience, try to gain experience in places that really matter. For public health, for instance, like my son's is coming with child on their CV, and this person is good. You cannot get into child. And I like as it varies, right? Same school, there's also the school signal. I don't really know what schools like really signals in Nigeria, but if you are coming from a school that people don't really know, it becomes more difficult. I don't want to like make does not look as though I'm kind of like putting some schools down. But if you are coming from a school like people don't know, like make things like very, very difficult because like you're looking at like I don't really know anybody that is so smart that's come from this school before. They are coming from a premier school like Ibadan or Lagos, right? Okay. Like I know one smart guy that finished from this school before. So that's kind of like the idea around like around signal. So proof of competence, talk about your CV, and also like the structure of the CV. Some person just list out like what they did. I don't want to know what you did. I want to know what you did during that period. So these are a few examples of kind of like work experience of some persons. On the left is the CV of a friend I helped to write. So I helped a friend to rewrite our entire CV. Like I said, I like helping people a lot, but I realize I cannot help everybody. That's why I'm organizing this. And on the right is my own CV, like a part. So you can see something as basic as so Ilomsa is in Ilorin University Medical Student Association. That's my university. So something as basic as like the research and journal club in the University of Ilorin. She was the sub team lead of the maternal and child health track. She talked about like what they did. I talked about like what project they worked on. They talked about what she achieved. She was able to facilitate mentorship sessions for medical students. It could even be that she just connected a medical student a with a resident. That's a mentorship session that I facilitated. And what was the result? It fostered interest in public health research. The health committee at the LOMSA, I also like kind of like helped us kind of like list out what she did. So for myself, um, I make sure like child is the most important thing in this CV. You get to like since I entered that child, like people that know to respond to my email or respond to my code message on LinkedIn, start responding. Because the first thing I just mentioned is I'm a former intern at Chai, I'm a former public health analyst at Chai. Right. So that's the most important thing. Like all of these things that I said I did, it's not even like as important as what I did. But one thing I want to also like kind of like point out is I mentioned this led coordination of a step down training. So I can remember that period, like I was really like when I was an intern at Chai, I was like how can I help your project? How can I contribute to what you're doing XYZ? So that's how I was able to like work on this project. For this social media advocacy campaign, I kept asking everybody on the HIV team that what challenge are you facing? How can I solve your challenge? And then someone said that like they have been doing a social media campaign for the national mental health program, and they need it to improve. That how can I help? That we can just get medical students together and get them to post. See something that's basic as that, and like everybody like really like liked me for that. And I put on my CV like as if like this guy just did one very very massive campaign. Just something that just basic, just the way I presented. So this another part of another person's CV. So what's like I'm trying to kind of like explain some signifiers. So like you might not really know Center for Malaria and Tropical Disease Care in Ilorin. For persons working in people in malaria know Center for Malaria and Tropical Disease Care because it's actually the largest in West Africa. But if you're not like a malaria researcher, you don't know the place, right? And so the signifier here is Novartis funded. The fact that I worked on the Novartis funded clinical trial, that's a big deal actually. Oh, and that signifier could have been maybe me having my supervisor. The supervisor here is Professor Olubenga Mokolo. Everybody in public health, like every major person in public health knows who that name is. Everyone knows like the big name. like in global health, public health, malaria research, like maybe like more malaria researcher in the country, right? So medical student researcher, this one that student I really helped. Yes. So they were part of like their research and journal club and just putting together, not to waste time. Not to waste time. I'm going to also show some mistakes some persons make. So some persons like just list out like the things that you did, right? This is for someone CV that I helped to rewrite. I wrote everything kind of like from scratch, right? So the person shared this with me, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to get into child with it. We need to rewrite like this from scratch. So I tried to kind of like clean some part to make it anonymous, right? Um, so I see the person just listed that like he served at XYZ. They were head of tutorial group for medical students. I started in called medical. Bro, I don't care that you did all of those things, right? What I care so much about is what you achieved. And I want to see it like structurally listed the way I structured all of the ones I have shared with you before. And that's it. Another mistake people make is like they wait till they see opportunities. Like they say there are no jobs, there are no scholarships, there are no global opportunities, there are no global internships. The truth is, many of like the best opportunities are not posted. They are usually like gotten by referral or by cold emailing. So if you don't know somebody, you have to like cold email. You have to cold email like fire. To give you context of the way I code email, like this year just started. What's today's date? Today is 15th of January. I've sent at least 200 code emails. That's how hungry you have to get. And one thing I really inspired my code emailing journey is I saw this guy is a Nigerian, struggling to remember his name, but he has a master's from Stanford. I has another master from Benedict University. Some person that like as soon as I mentioned, some person might actually know him. I can't see my screen, so if you are typing, I might not see that. So he has a master from Stanford, master from Benedict University. He was BGS law in his undergrad. I think it was second BGS like at law school. And the guy said he sent over 2,000 or 3,000 code emails in 1 year. And I was like, someone with all of these qualifications, sending this number of code emails, I need to be doing triple of that. Because like what do I have? Just an MBBS from University of Ilorin. Then I didn't have an MBBS. So this kind of like the structure of this got me an internship actually. So structure, I cleaned the name of the person. I hope the message finds you well. I just kind of like I use this to this like greetings, introduction, what I've done. You can see signifiers, voice of tomorrow, global tech revolution. When you see Kellogg, like this guy is smart, be smart. They want to read further. Then you have to praise them too. I find your character architecture as this really inspiring. I'm not saying everybody should just screenshot this and go and be writing, and they are saying we got 500 sign-ups, and they are seeing 500 people right sending them code emails like this. No, that's not my goal. But I want you to really understand the structure of how this thing is being done. So my request some of the things I've done and what I've done and so forth. I actually got a message from the director asking us to talk on WhatsApp and he sent me his WhatsApp number. And that's how I got it. Um so what okay, so this is can we see this slide? I'm trying to move to the I can't see my screen. Sorry. Marvelous, can you see my screen? Marvelous, you can speak.
Yes, I can. It's showing what you did, what recruiters actually see, and how to write it on your CV.
Okay. All right, thank you. I don't know why my screen is I can't even see the Google Meets anymore. I don't know why. All right, that's fine. So so I'm trying to just like describe some of the things that you guys might have done, whether in medical school, done wherever, and how you can rewrite it on your CV.
Isaac, we can't hear you again. You're muted. Hi, Isaac, we lost you. You're currently muted, so we can't hear you. Hi, everyone. I think Dr. Isaac is facing network challenges because he has been logged out. So I'll try to reach out to him via WhatsApp whilst we remain on the call.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yes,
Was
I
it Bob?
can. Yes, we can.
Okay, let me try share my screen again. Let me. Can you see my screen? Yeah, marvelous.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I've spent 30 minutes already, and I still have like 4 or 5 slides cover. But you guys can hear me.
Yes.
All right, good. So collected patient or research data. It shows that you know how to collect data, you know how to clean, you know how to structure data sets that supports clinical research outcomes. Like, and you have to like describe it that way. You just say you collected patient or research data. How did you do it? Like, what exactly did you do? Like, everybody can collect data. Everybody can write, do a Google. Everybody can do a Google form. There's ChatGPT. There's Gemini AI. Like, I'm going to talk more about that. Like, nobody really knows, nobody really cares about um all of these like basic things anymore. AI can do it. It's now how you think. It's how you think about how you do it. That's what's most important. So you collect patients, like Gemini here can collect a patient. So how did you collect the patient? You evaluated, synthesized complex information to support decision making for your consultant. Like clinical decision making, or however you're going to describe it. So manage multiple patients or tasks as workflow management, wrote case reports or research summaries, technical communication, which is very, very important, especially in today's world. Um, participated in research reports, student leadership roles. That's something and that opportunity people really fail to describe. So um, you see student leadership roles. Even be a an executive in your church or your mosque, and you can describe it such that whoever is seeing what you did, think that you were part of a religious club, right? And when they see what you did, they will think you actually even like work harder than your departmental president. So it kind of like it really depends on how you really like describe what you said you did. You didn't even have to lie, right? Because you might get caught, you might not get caught. I don't really care, but you really don't have to lie to get noticed. So community health outreach and community health outreach, like it shows how you can like do advocacy, how you can engage people to improve program reach. You know, when we want to say want to release a vaccine now, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do advocacy so that people will not think Bill Gates want to kill them. So if you can see, you say you know how to do it, that's a plus side, and it's how you describe it, right? So yeah. Let me move to the next slide. Oh, what's this? All right. Sorry, I don't know why this thing failed to update. It's so sad. Okay, so busy and because I kind of like I used the slide I used. So busy and strategic. So what I usually see people, I hope there are no missing slides right now. Okay, all right. I forgot to actually even had a slide. All right, so no problem. Mm, I'm coming. All right, so busy and strategic. So sorry about the Wella health and the I removed that already, and the valuation and evaluation and all that stuff. So busy and strategic. So like a lot of people just keep doing stuff and they're not strategic about it. You know, people actually like build a profile. Like they see in the next 2 to 3 years, I want to apply for Dana Award, and they start chasing it. So you're in 100 level, you're 18. You can say by the time I'm 21, I want to get Dana Award. How can I get Dana Award? Look for 2 to 3 people that have got the Dana Award. Send them a message. They will respond. They are not that big that they will not be responding to messages. And if you think you are too big to respond to messages on LinkedIn, honestly, you're not doing well. Like the least you can do is to give on a generic response. Um, so I mean that's the only way we can like really make our country better if we help other people to build capacity. Just not to just have that. So talk to people that have done whatever what you aspire to do and start building a profile like towards it. You want to be a GBR biotech leader of tomorrow. Can send me an email. My email is going to be at the end of the presentation. In the next 3 to 5 years, I want to get this GBR biotech leader of tomorrow. See, this GBR biotech leader of tomorrow, I've been aiming at it for the past 3 years actually. I firstly saw it on Dr. Chibuzo's LinkedIn. It's like this thing is really cool. And then Dr. Chibuzo is a PhD as well at Oxford. I was like, might actually be very interesting to try. And that's why I started like building a profile. Like I was looking at I didn't actually even reach out to him. I was just looking at what he did when he was on undergrad. So I felt to be too busy to respond. But honestly, like when I eventually met him in person and like all like my closest senior friends right now, like people actually respond better than you actually think. So volunteering without a defined skill or outcome, applying to everything and hoping something sticks. It's good to apply to stuff. Honestly, good to like send like multiple code emails. Like me, that I've sent 200 since this year started. But you need to be very strategic about it. Like it's not about like the volume. It's about how you are doing it. Okay, you're sending a code email. Are you sending code emails to people that are actually going to respond? Like people that are likely to respond, people that actually need your services. You're not going to send code emails to like 5,000 people, right? So if I don't, that don't need, they don't need your service. So send code emails to people that actually like really need your service. Um, so applying to like multiple things, like go to prepare for multiple I was never really able to apply for a lot of things, but I think I still get 100 rejections. This rejection from the code emails, it's still rejections, yeah, but like, and I'm kind of like application I'm talking about, like application where you write like 2, 3 essays and then get 100 rejection from them. Yeah, those are rejection because you feel the pain. So yeah, but you need to be really be certain about what you're applying for. You're applying for sexual and reproductive health today. Tomorrow you're applying for vaccines, and that day you're applying for um, domestic violence, and that day you're applying for biotech consulting. Like, where's your focus? I understand like you need to really like explore stuff, which I encourage you to do, but you should kind of like pick maybe like 3 or 4 different areas that are closely related. So in the nearest future, when you are telling your story for grad school or for a policy implementation project that you want to bid for, you can tell a story that aligns and shows that you actually have motivation. The effort in that direction creates activity but not progress. In my BC, I also talked about like talking to people, talking to you guys about how about where high paying jobs are moving to today. So one thing I'm really going to like share is from my experience talking to like founders, like a lot of top health tech founders and my very good senior friends, and they talk to me about like wanting to hire interns, hire analysts. Many of them like when they are running a junior staff, they'll firstly talk to me before they post out actually. So and for my conversation with them, I really realized everybody already sees that AI can do a lot of things, right? So AI can write you a very good essay, but it takes someone that really knows how to think, that is going to like put together a good prompt. Like you don't have to be like a super technical person. Like it's all about like thinking. It's all about someone that knows that they have to do some a bit of primary research before they are putting in a good prompt. So you need to invest into your like your thinking, like into your like your thinking capacity. And that's one other reason why I think like people that are really going to like make the most of it are actually experts. So you need to like build capacity, like read more stuff, read more articles around like your area of interest. You're interested in digital health. Read about it. Read a lot more about it. Read about like what's actually working. I've been like if I'm trying digital health, like I've put out like several like 2, 3 articles now. One is on Tech Point and two on my medium, very, very long form articles, like 7,000, 8,000 words long articles like on my medium, like the one on Tech Point about 1,000. Very very, very good resource for you to really understand what's really happening in the ecosystem. And research and evidence outcomes, like you really need to like understand how to generate like real evidence. Like AI can actually like generate like data already. Like AI can like really spin out information from like multiple articles, but many of this information like are not accurate. So it takes someone that really knows what they are doing to be able to like sift bullshit. So it's to use that. Consulting strategy and transformation. It's kind of like still similar to the strategy implementation reward data. Honestly, just same thinking. Like you need to really know how to think. You need to learn how to really think. You need to learn how to be smart. Like read books, listen to very smart people, talk to smart people. I think in 2024, I did at least 50 to 70 coffee chats the persons in the US that are doing things in things like that are doing like that are doing stuff that I really wanted to do. And the goal was to like number one network and number two really understand how they think and start to think like that in the following year. And it really helped, honestly. So high paying roles will reward people who can translate that to decisions or thinking. Apply AI tools to real world problems. So you need to really understand like how to actually identify real world problems. And the only way you can actually identify real world problems is actually by talking to people, like being around very, very smart people. Let me tell you a story, like even very, very recent. So I was at Cambridge, I met this guy, Dr. Paul Button, Chief Medical Officer of Amgen. And then he was speaking to me about like something he wanted to like do in Africa and like we could actually work together in future. And then he mentioned an idea and I was like, oh like that sounds very interesting. Then I saw that same idea, like that same startup idea, and I spoke to the founder. Like I recently spoke to the founder, and I realized most investors don't actually know them, and they are making like a shit ton of money. So you will not really know what's really working. Like we don't talk to like very smart people, right? So you have to like try to like being around smart people, and that's why you need to like tell your story, show yourself. Time is gone. Combine domain knowledge with tech fluence. Like you need to like be really smart. Like really know what you're doing. Operate across teams and systems. Create measurable outcome. So final slide. No one is really coming to pick you. Like there's really nothing. I've said a lot. Quite might be insightful to you. But it's not be helpful for you if you don't really put it in practice. If you don't sit down on your laptop, like stay locked in and put together some of these things I've put together. And at the same time, this is my email for persons that might want to reach out to me after this. But I have very, very limited time. Like I'm in a very, very busy period of my life right now. So my response time might be a bit low. My LinkedIn is also here. So I might respond like in a week or 3, 4 days. I might respond immediately. It just depends on like how busy I am at the time. I'm gonna be available to also like do like multiple calls, like since I've done this right now. But I am looking to do a paid service for persons that are interested. Let me try to um, say that. It's supposed to be on this. My page is unresponsive. Can you see me?
Yes.
I forgot to add something to these slides. I want to share something with you guys. Just give me a minute. I'm coming. But you can start typing out your questions now. You can start typing out your questions. I'm trying to. Can you see my screen? Yeah, sure. I will share. I will share the slide. Um, okay, good. So can you guys hear me? Um,
Yes, we can hear
okay.
you.
You're doing almost 200. Super impressive. Okay, so I put this together for persons that might want to get me to help them rewrite their CV. I'm not sure I really have bandwidth to do free stuff anymore. And I'm happy to respond to emails like if you really need any help, like have questions. This is really going for super cheap. I don't have a tier for internationals yet, right? But so for student and recent grads like less than a year, that's going to go for 25K, where I get to help you write your CV or write a CV from scratch. And then I do a 20 minutes one-on-one strategy call. I get to really assess where you are and share with you what you can do, say, for the next 2 to 3 months. And I give you a plan that you can follow. And if you need to maybe send an email to for feedback at the next of the at the end of the 3 months, I'm happy to respond, but I might not like do another like call unless I'm available, right? So I would help you to translate whatever experience that you have, maybe you're a student leader or whatever you have done really, to what to a repeated language along my whatever experience I've gotten like tech, med tech, health tech, public health, and global rules. Like I've gotten including like global opportunities like the Gap Summit or whatever opportunity. So for the pricing, I already talked about pricing. So recent grads is for you have to upload your like a recognition that shows that you're a student, whether your course form or your ID card or whatever. And for professionals, like goes for 50,000 Nigerian naira. So you pay via the account number and then upload your preliminary CV, and then like get some questions to ask you that you also respond to, and then once you are done filling the form, you can book a strategy call via my Calendly. So yeah, so I think we can start with the question. Um,
And the questions are written in the chat box.
okay. Okay, please, can we get the slide? Sure, we can get the slide. But I'm still thinking about it because there are some personal information I put in the slide, like person CVs, and I need to like talk to them and see if they are happy to have that shared out to a lot of people. If they are not, I'll just remove like those parts, right? So um or I rewrite it as an anonymous person that is not them. So thank you. Hi, Dr. Isaac. Thank you so much for such an insightful session. A lot have been covered and some actually spoke to me. I applied for a 2026 child internship last year and was wondering if there was a timeline to start expecting feedback. I don't work in HR, but I would really say you have to follow up with a senior person. I think I already covered that in the session. If you are be attentive. I said I sent a code email to actually try like after applying. So I expect you to also do that. Um, see, most organizations, even myself, I love someone that is proactive. I don't want to work with someone that is latent. Like I want to work with someone that is very, very energetic, someone that can work, someone that can grind, someone that really loves to work. It makes me excited. So I believe most people that are like high level really want to work with someone like that. So if you show to be someone like that, they will really be happy to work with you. And one of the ways to show that you are proactive by sending code emails. I don't know timeline. I don't know about timeline, but you can follow up. You can. I remember I also followed up with HR too. So follow up with as many people as possible. I don't have any question, but I want to just say something like when I grow up. LOL. Um, Thank you so much, Ekundayo, for this session. I prefer you call me Isaac though. Aside your numerous achievements so far, um, inspired by your desire to give back to the community, I much appreciate your kind words. And I really think everybody should be that way. That's the only way our country can grow. Like, I really understand. Like, someone was really ranting to me like this afternoon. She came from the US to come and a um, do an electives, and she was just complaining like everybody just wants to just do their work. Nobody wants to help her. Nobody wants to mentor her. And she was like, why did she just come to waste her time in Nigeria? She had just been in the US and focus on stuff. I mean, she's from an Ivy League. Like, and I was really very inspired. Like, she decided to come to Nigeria to come and contribute to global health in Nigeria. We can really change the narrative once you are doing stuff. Try to help other people. Once you become a professor, being interested in mentoring people. I've gained a lot from mentorship. That's the reason why I'm very happy to help other people. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Much appreciate your kind words. What is the try to get your question? Hi, Dr. Isaac. Please, what are some opportunities that are there for public health students, and how can I position myself for such opportunity? That's very deep. I would say number one opportunity is to really. I just tell people that they are low hanging fruits that and the people are not making the most of. Number one low hanging fruits, the opportunity for you to be in class in public health, like talk to your professor, is a low hanging fruit. That's an opportunity. That's an opportunity for you to become smarter than your colleagues. Like I done with class. I remember like when I was doing my community health posting, like every class, I ask a question. And after the question, I follow up with the professor, and then we get like talk at length, and some of them are now my mentors. They write my recommendation letters, like very, very lengthy recommendation at the very, very short notice. I could give them 24 hours and they just do it for me. That's like one low hanging fruit. Another low hanging fruit is organized outreach. A lot of people like say that everybody is doing NGO, blah 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 blah. People are just start padding you. But bro, do it like that's the you need to do it like number one, you need to build capacity. If you don't do something, there's really no way you'll be able to do it. Like you learn by doing. So organize an outreach, engage with people that can fund you, like fundraise. Um, that's and once you put that together, like into your CV, that's something. And that opportunity you can explore is like applying to internships. Again, I mentioned like most of these opportunities you don't see them online. I think the only public internship that I really know in Nigeria that they send out the call for applications is Sidani and Solina. And I was even working with someone for our application was for Sidani. Was it Solina or Sidani? I can't remember. It was Sidani. Yeah, I was trying to help her prepare for. She got to the interview stage. I helped her to like review her series, like everything from scratch. So she got to the interview stage, and but I think at the interview, she like things just didn't work out. I think that's like the only fellowship internship I know like at the for public health. I think Solina also does like a structured internship for public health, so you can look forward to that. Look at people that have got it in. Again, all of these people, like people that are very proactive. If I want a Sidani fellowship, like Sidani internship today, I'm going to get it. Like I remember, like when I was even like coordinating for a public health internship, like earlier, like very early last year, the CEO of Solina responded to my code email. Like I didn't expect him not to respond. Like he was definitely going to respond because very few persons actually bold enough to talk to the CEO. People will be talking to like associate. I know associate cannot help me. It's only the CEO that can help me. And when I think like company policy X Y Z X Y Z, I can't join them yet. I should come back later. So yeah, thanks for this session. What's the maximum areas of health one can combine? I see you are into digital health, financing, and global health. There's not really no maximum, but right now I'm still very early career. Even though a lot of people see me as mid career, but in my head, I'm early career with the mindset of an expert. So but at the same time, I really think a lot of what I do, I really intersect. So I'm trying to be a digital health specialist. Like I want to know digital health more than anybody in Africa. Like Africa's digital health. Like I want to be the go-to person. Like if you are talking about digital health, like on the continent. That's the reason why like I'm doing a lot of focus on digital health. And digital health cannot work if there's no money. Digital health cannot work if we don't build people's capacity. Digital health cannot work if we don't, good strategy. So strategy is very important. Funding is very important. That's why I'm into VC. So I cannot make good investment if I don't know about digital health. A generalist investor cannot make a good investment into digital health unless they talk to specialists like myself. That's why we have someone like Ola Brown that says that she's a digital health investor. Like, firm is mostly digital health, like investment. And global health, like everything is still around global health. Most of the investment I've done in Africa is in fact investment. So like everything is still global health, right? What's the definition of global health? Can't remember. Well, go on the definition of global health. So, like everything is still for the public good. Is yeah, you want to make some profit, but it's still for the public good. You want like people to like have better health care, increase access in healthcare and all of that. And I think very good experience I got at Chai that actually helped me like with digital health and investment is I told you that like it was when I was at Chai that they freeze usage funding. And when I feel like they freeze usage funding, maybe I to dying. We need to redesign this thing. Where would the investment come from? I looked to private investment. That's how I go to VC. So everything is very interconnected, right? So an area and starts doing. And I think another thing I also like to also have is that maybe after like 2 to 3 years, you see that I've just like niched down like entirely doing one thing. Honestly, right now I think I'll keep circling around like these three things that I'm doing. Um my question is with regards making multiple applications. There's this target people say about getting online injection. To read that target, does it require spreading niche that one applies to? I don't have a response to it, but I know when I started applying for stuff, I was applying for like several things. I remember even applying to SRHR. I did a pitch at SRHR. I don't know if you saw what is on the call, but we were in that competition together. I'm not interested in sexual and reproductive health. Like I'm not going to be explaining to somebody about contraceptives, but I wanted to really gain experience, like with like startups, like building a startup, gain experience, like pitching, gain experience, with, like doing a business model. And we applied for the competition. Like the startup is still in pilot. I've not gotten anywhere. I've even left the startup actually. So I said because I'm not interested, right? I'm not interested in like in that area. The person that we're interested in like sharing about disease health, I just left it for them to just focus on doing it. Um so you need to kind of like spread your niche like early on. But as you move, right now, if I cannot be applying for SRHR, nothing I need it for. But I see health tech, uh, I'm definitely sending my I see global health, I'm just sending my application. Um that's the reason why I'm not applying for a lot of things like these days. This year, maybe I've just done like maybe 15 applications or yeah, 10 to 15. Yeah. Like if it were in like those early years, I would have done like 30 already by now. So yeah, so I think that's just the thing. And that's the reason why since I don't have a lot of like opportunities like available. That's why I leverage code emails. I think I've sent to 200. By the time this year is finishing, I'll probably have sent 5,000. So, and I think another thing I people do like people look for opportunities when they are waiting for when they need an opportunity before you can send a code email. You don't need to like send a code email to get a job. I even send a code email to like get to chat to somebody. Like I do that a lot. Like I could send a code email to maybe like a CEO of a very, very big company. I say like, hey, I'm a student, I've done this and this and this. I would love to have a conversation about this stuff that I really learned to really help me. Everybody wants to review your currency. Sure. Again, you really need to be really smart about like using AI, right? That's the reason why I say people really need to you need to really learn how to be smart. Like you need to go deep. So if you go deep, you really understand stuff. You know how to, you can pick like BS, like in all of these things. Like you know what is right and what is wrong. So sure, use AI to review your current CV if you want to. Thank you so much for the session. Much appreciate the kind words. Are there places we can research for people in our niche? LinkedIn, please. LinkedIn. I sleep on LinkedIn. I think I was telling someone one time that I'm addicted to using LinkedIn. I'm not even joking. LinkedIn. So I'm interested in how you recognize them. LinkedIn, oh, LinkedIn. I was searching biotech, VC, US, the location. It's very recorded. Yes, it's required to be shared. Thank you, sir. Is there an app you can recommend for writing a good CV? Ah, I don't know. Write everything. Write it by yourself. I've shared a lot of tips already. I think you should make use of that. I have an interest in health policy. I really want to understand how many questions do we have? Okay. I want to really understand how healthcare works as a system, whether financing, blah blah blah. How can I position myself as a career? I'm a student and I'm not done an inpatient. Me too, I've not done an inpatient and MBA before. I just finished medical school. Like, bro, everything applies. Like everything I've said, just apply like everything I've mentioned. Right. Send code emails, look for people, look for opportunities. You don't see opportunity, you find the opportunity. I think there's one song that has been trending lately. Say if table no turn, I go turn table. I can't even you get what I mean. So um go and collect what is Caesar's. So you're like the surgery graduate, I want to transition in public health after my NYC very last year. Thinking internship in a diagnostic lab for a start. But they keep rejecting, saying they can take in MLS and LCLT graduates. Okay. If you want to transition into public health, I don't know what's why you need internship in a diagnostic lab. But send me an email, Sha. I'm not promising anything, but I might be able to make an introduction. There's someone I met last year. You see over there in the diagnostic lab. But we have not like spoken in a while, so I don't know if you're going to respond to me. Just send me an email. Um, Thank you so much for the session, Dr. Isaac. How do you suggest one can explore the various fields of health tech? I don't really have an area of interest now, but I would love to grow into this and develop a niche. I would say read as much as possible. It's like this person I don't know if this is Nifemi. Like read, like Nifemi, you like reading, so read as much as possible. Then I used to set up Google Alerts. You should go and check what Google Alerts is. I said set up Google Alert for health tech and digital health tech in Nigeria, health tech Africa, health tech US, health tech China. And I was reading all of those things. A lot of those things kind of really built up my knowledge base. So when an opportunity really comes in, I'm able to talk and they say, "Ah, this guy is smart too. How do you know all of this as a student?" Now that I'm not a student, I don't know what would be my USP now. So but yeah, I think one of the ways is to really read. And when you read, like talk to people, might even write articles and don't write generic article that people are writing. Like everybody's coming topic that they are not. Do research, like talk to people, put all of that stuff together and share it. Let people see how what you have done is invaluable. That without you, this would have not been. And once you do that, you can start applying for internships and all of that. Just pick a niche group. I think this is something I know also mentioned in the original meeting is that I think doctors also like have to like find a way um to convert like their experience to some of these roles. I know health tech like there's product management. I think I talked about that already, like product management and all of that. So you need to look for what kind of roles that you can really leverage. I think product managers is like the best roles like a doctor can get into. And I think there are totally amazing startup that also hire doctors for. And I don't advise anybody to take those kind of jobs unless it's well paying. They're gonna be collecting 800 naira per hour. Don't do it. You're a doctor. Thank you very much for this clarity session. Much appreciate your kind words. Hi, Dr. Isaac. How long should one wait for a code email response? I don't need to wait for a response. I don't need to wait for a response. When I send a code email, I'm not expecting them to respond to me. My response rate is actually like maybe 2/10. So I'm not expecting anybody to respond to me. But at the same time, I see follow up. So I could follow up after 2 months. I could follow up after a month. I can follow up after 3 weeks. But I don't follow up less than 3 weeks. A code email, right? So I don't like follow up immediately. And it depends on what you're looking for and how desperate you are. Like, what's the timeline? But don't follow up 2 days for after a code email. Like, at least a week. Give them like time to breathe. A week or 2 weeks at least. But don't expect like a response, right? Yeah. Even get a spouse too. I don't understand it. Hello, Dr. Thank you for inside session. Although I joined it, I'm passionate about sickle cell advocacy. Amazing. See why it's marriage and application are exposed only to oncology and medical research. The clinical phase of medical school. Hmm. I have a very, very unconventional opinion around um, around this. People usually advise people then, and people used to advise me at that time so when I was in the clinicals, I should wait until I get the clinicals and see if I really want to practice medicine. Okay. I don't the clinicals. I'm still not interested. If you are so sure that if you are so sure about sickle cell, you want to be an hematologist. Yeah, so sure. Like honestly, I think you just focus on it. Focus on hematology, focus on sickle cell. Like I'm like doing public health on this side, like global health, I'm a general advocacy programs. But like do that sickle cell. You can send me an email. I should also like introduce to a friend that does a lot of sickle cell advocacy. I don't know where you're also based too, because this friend, his NGO is in Ibadan. So send me an email. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, thank you, Deborah. I'm going that's one second. My God, yeah, thank you so much. I got a lot of messages from blessings. I was like, I used to set up Google Alert for it for article before now. Passing my article on Google Alert. Much appreciated. Kind words. Addition to my initial questions, what should I do to be at a vantage point? To understand vantage point, I teach a PhD. Not done PhD yet. uh, uh, Everything I've said, just do what I've said. Honestly, like, who got Dr. Isaac's email? I'll type it now. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. So although my inbox is very full these days. So I may not respond on time, but my email is a bit free, so I should respond at least in a week. So the doctors end up to 800 per hour. So I don't know. I've not started practicing. I people that are practicing. Uh, how does code email work, please? And what does it entail? I already shared that in the meeting. I think, yeah, thank you so much, Shayo. Good evening, Dr. Isaac. Thanks so much. What's the best way to get into policy? Uh, I would say reading policy articles, and look for the health policy professor in your school and engage him. And I don't know if this son, it is Olamide from University of Ilorin, can send me an email. I should be able to introduce to Professor um what's his name? Professor Saka, MJ Saka. So we can have a conversation with him. He's very happy to speak. Yeah. Can you can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay. All right. So I think that's the end of the session. Let me just add the link to the
There's one more question
Okay,
by
please read it out. Let me
John
try to
Abraham.
send. Okay.
So he's saying that hello Dr. Isaac, thanks so much for this session. You're the best. For those of us studying paramedical courses, what's the best way to start, or what skills must we have in addition to our certificates?
For those of you doing what?
Studying paramedical courses.
Again, I didn't let me sound too harsh. But I think one thing one it needs to like do a mind reset for you to be asking our question in the first to begin with. See, I'm not sure I'm going to practice medicine yet. Um so honestly yeah, like the MBBS degree is good. It's like a doctorate degree equivalent to a PhD in some countries in Europe and the US. Um but I don't think it's the MBBS degree that defines me. That's one. Two, you really need to um you really need to like understand that people are hiring you not just for your degree. Yes, like there's the degree signaling. Like so everybody has experience. Do everything I've said in this meeting. And if you don't join on time, you can join the you can listen to the recording. Um get skills, like reach out to people, talk to people. Like, everything I've said, to be honest, like just do all of those things. Um, once you do all of those things, honestly, like yeah, and you do those things like I'm like fully focused for this 1 year, nobody's gonna recognize you again. I'm not even joking. I didn't expect that I'm going to like get to this point like in the last 2 years. Like ask people in my school, like they know me now. I was blogging at some point. So um I was just like that was literally the only thing I was saying, so be honest. So don't like and identify what you really want to do with your life. And that's like the first step. Identify what I already knew I wanted to do health tech from secondary school. And I knew I wanted the MBBS degree as a signal. So I understand that signal part. I'm not even like putting that out. But you need to really understand like the signal is not the most important thing. What's the most important thing is what skills you have and what your network is like. So network with people, like talk to people, like you need to know people. Like actually need to really know people. So very, very important. Like cannot be underestimated. And your file does not have to be $100 before you know somebody. Like you can grind from. I know it's not easy. Not even like trying to even not easy for me to honestly. So just do it the best that you can. But you're going to like do fairly well. You might not be super rich, but you're going to at least like be upper middle class if you put in to practice some of the things that I've already highlighted. And yeah, and then talking about the signaling, I say the signal also like means a lot. So you can get a master's like after your BSc because everybody has a master's these days. So get a master's doesn't have to be outside the country, doesn't have to be out of Africa. There are good schools in Nigeria. I know the MPH at University of Ibadan is a very very good program. The MPH University of Ibadan is a very good program. Those are and the MPH in ABU too. The MPH in ABU is a very virtual program. They can even do that together with working. So, and then there are good schools in Rwanda and Kigali. I know there is a global health masters in global health delivery at University of Global Health Equity. Yeah. So, and I think there are other schools too. Even in South Africa, look at some schools. And Mastercard is doing a lot of like funding in Africa. And these programs are like they're not like as competitive as schools in Europe. So apply to the ones in Europe to Oxford, Cambridge, Edinburgh, blah blah blah. Yeah, and try to like get your own signal. So nobody's looking down on you that you're not a doctor. Um, I'm not taking any more questions after this. Thank you so much for the session. I'm coming on to I want to copy the link. Looks like I wasn't able to. So this is the link to the consult. Tell me if you're able to click the link. Are you able to click it? Marvelous. Let me know if you're able to click it. Marvelous. Marvelous on the call.
Yes, I am. I'm trying to like access the link. It's not yet going.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Not
yes,
click.
that's gone.
Okay. If it's not clickable, I've sent the form, the original form link.
Yeah, it's clickable actually.
So you can just book a session and get me to review your CV if you want that service. Okay, let me answer this last question. For someone that enjoys net financing, what are the things you should prioritize, even right from your picking career, volunteering, internships, investment banking an option? Of course, if you are interested, investment banking is an option. I have a friend that is like deep in investment banking. Like he got to like he has like done like very good investment banking, and he's a medical student. So um you can explain investment banking. So for healthcare financing, the things they can explore, you can explore like the global health approach for healthcare financing. That's the public healthcare financing, the programs implementation, health insurance, like our social insurance that we do in Nigeria, all of that. There is the maybe working at an insurance company. Yeah, there's that. And so I don't really know anybody that I can introduce you to if you are looking for something like that. So it's not personally sure, but like an health insurance company, something you can like explore. You can you can check some like health tech insurance companies. Like, you can check some like very very new ones. Tell them you want to intern with them. Can you tell them you want to do unpaid internship? I'm not doing advice on paid internship unless it's a global company that is going to really help you. But if you're desperate, you can just do like an unpaid internship for 1 month. I'll tell them that after that 1 month, if they're interested in paying you, they can continue or you leave. So, and just do that. Can frame it in a very good and polite and compelling way. Um, so you can explore insurance. You can also explore venture capital. That's what I do. You can explore. Can explore. What else can you explore? You can explore private equity. They are both. Even banking and private equity are good options, but like they are very very competitive options. So if that's what you want, even VC is very competitive options. Like I did not know I was going to get into VC, bro. So like they are very competitive options. Like if you really want that, like you have to just like look in and do what it takes to get in. So I think that's it. We have been here for 1 hour, 20 minutes. I think we can end the session now. But I was really thinking if